You won't believe what just unfolded in the courtroom today. A scene so shocking, so intense, it's already sending ripples through the celebrity world. Rada, usually composed and poised, was completely overwhelmed as she confronted the reality of Michael's latest betrayal. The courtroom fell silent as she struggled to hold back her tears, every word heavy with heartbreak and disbelief. And this isn't just any betrayal. It's the kind that breaks trust, shatters relationships, and ignites endless gossip. Rumors that were once whispered in private are now exploding into the public eye, leaving fans and insiders speculating wildly about what really happened behind closed doors. Adding even more fuel to the fire is the involvement of Nadia Nakai. Her presence in this scandal has made the story impossible to ignore, and the tension in the courtroom was palpable. Every glance, every gesture seemed loaded with meaning, as emotions ran high and accusations flew like wildfire. If you thought celebrity drama had limits, think again. What's unfolding now is raw, emotional, and utterly unpredictable. By the end of this story, you'll be questioning who is truly innocent, who is hiding secrets, and who might be orchestrating the ultimate game behind the scenes. The tension in the courtroom was almost unbearable as everyone waited for the proceedings to begin. Rada entered, her usually confident demeanor replaced by visible unease. The whispers from journalists and fans outside had already reached a boiling point, but no one was prepared for the emotional storm that was about to unfold inside those four walls. For weeks, rumors had been circulating about Michael's questionable behavior, but today, the reality hit like a thunderbolt. Rada's eyes scanned the room, stopping briefly on Michael, who sat with a guarded expression, as if expecting this confrontation to come. Yet nothing could have prepared anyone for the sheer intensity of the drama that would soon erupt. It all started months ago, with subtle signs that something was amiss. Friends close to Rada had noticed Michael becoming distant, elusive, and secretive. Phone calls left unanswered, messages ignored, and sudden late-night outings that he couldn't fully explain. At first, Rada tried to dismiss it as stress or misunderstandings, clinging to the hope that her relationship with Michael was still intact. But as the days turned into weeks, and the whispers grew louder, even her inner circle began to sense that something far more serious was brewing. And then came the hints about Nadia Nakai, a name that until recently had remained on the periphery of this unfolding story. The first murmurs of Nadia's involvement surfaced innocently enough, a shared social media post here, a cryptic comment there, but soon they escalated into something undeniable. Insiders revealed that Michael had been seen with Nadia on multiple occasions, in situations that raised eyebrows and fueled speculation. The narrative that had once been private now became public fodder. Gossip forums exploded with theories. Was it a secret romance? A business betrayal? Or something even darker? Each new piece of information added layers of tension to a situation already fraught with uncertainty. By the time the courtroom doors opened, Rada's emotional reserves were already stretched thin. She wasn't just facing betrayal, she was confronting it on a very public stage, with cameras capturing every glance, every tear, and every tremor of her voice. Michael, for his part, maintained a careful calm, though subtle signs of discomfort betrayed him: tight fists, a restless shuffle of papers, and occasional glances at the spectators. Nadia's presence in the case file only amplified the chaos, and as the judge called the session to order, the room seemed to shrink with the weight of anticipation. Observers described Rada's reaction as a mixture of shock and disbelief. Her voice quivered as she addressed the court, her hands occasionally clutching at her notes for support. Each accusation, each revelation about Michael's actions hit her like a physical blow. The betrayal wasn't just about broken promises, it was about trust, respect, and the personal history they had shared. Everyone watching could feel the emotional gravity of the moment, and social media erupted almost instantly with clips of Rada's breakdown. Fans flooded the internet with support, sympathy, and outrage, creating a storm that extended far beyond the courtroom walls. It wasn't just about Michael's betrayal, the situation was compounded by Nadia Nakai's alleged involvement. Celebrity insiders hinted at secret meetings, late-night encounters, and private messages that suggested a level of intimacy or collaboration that no one had anticipated. The ambiguity only intensified the drama, leaving the public questioning every motive, every smile, and every handshake. Was Michael truly at fault? Was Nadia merely caught in the crossfire? Or was there a more sinister plan behind these unfolding events? No one knew for sure, and that uncertainty was what made the story so compelling and so gut-wrenching. Meanwhile, Rada struggled to maintain her composure. At one point, she paused mid-sentence, her eyes glistening with tears as she tried to explain how the betrayal had affected her. It wasn't just about public humiliation, it was about personal pain, heartbreak, and a sense of betrayal that cut deeper than anyone could imagine. For many viewers, This vulnerability made her relatable, human, and heartbreakingly real. It's rare to see someone of her stature and poise exposed in such a raw, unfiltered way, and that authenticity only drew more eyes to the story. As the first hours of the courtroom session unfolded, every detail seemed magnified. A nervous glance, a sharp retort, or a faint smile took on monumental significance. Reporters scrambled to capture every nuance, dissecting body language and tone for clues. Fans analyzed every clip posted online, creating memes, reaction videos, and discussion threads that further fueled the narrative. By the time the session ended for a short recess, the courtroom drama had already spilled into living rooms, social media feeds, and celebrity gossip channels across the globe. And yet, despite the chaos, one thing remained painfully clear: this was far from over. The betrayal, the heartbreak, and the mystery surrounding Nadia Nakai's role had set the stage for an even more explosive revelation. Rada's emotional breakdown was just the beginning, a prelude to a saga that promised to unravel secrets, challenge perceptions, and keep the world watching with bated breath. In this story of celebrity scandal, betrayal, and raw emotion, no one could predict what would happen next, or who would emerge unscathed from the fallout. The courtroom was electric as the session resumed, tension practically vibrating in the air. Rada had barely recovered from her initial emotional collapse, but the next round of revelations threatened to push her over the edge entirely. Michael, sitting across from her, wore a carefully neutral expression, yet every subtle movement betrayed his unease. The whispers circulating outside the courtroom had now turned into deafening speculation, with fans and media alike dissecting every gesture, every glance, and every word exchanged between the two celebrities. As the proceedings continued, conflicting narratives emerged, each more sensational than the last. Michael insisted that the allegations against him were blown out of proportion, claiming that his interactions with Nadia Nakai were purely professional, a misunderstanding magnified by gossip and assumptions. He maintained that he had never intended to betray Rada, emphasizing the long history they shared and insisting that loyalty had never wavered. Yet, every word he uttered was met with skepticism, as evidence began to surface contradicting his carefully crafted narrative. Private messages, leaked photos, and witness statements painted a different story, one that suggested intentional secrecy and potential deceit. The courtroom atmosphere intensified as Rada's legal team presented their findings. The evidence detailed Michael's clandestine meetings, unexplained absences, and interactions with Nadia that went beyond casual acquaintance. The room held its breath as each revelation came to light, amplifying the sense of betrayal and shocking those present. Rada, visibly shaken, struggled to maintain composure, her hands trembling as she referenced the documents before her. This wasn't just a case of misunderstanding, it was a systematic unraveling of trust, meticulously documented and impossible to ignore. Nadia Nakai's role became even murkier as more information emerged. Some witnesses claimed to have seen secretive encounters between her and Michael, while others insisted that she had been manipulated or coerced into the situation. The ambiguity surrounding her involvement only deepened the intrigue, leaving everyone, including the media and public, speculating wildly. Was she a willing participant, an innocent bystander, or a calculated player in a larger scheme? The uncertainty was maddening, and it fueled an ever-growing storm of gossip. The most shocking twist, however, came when a new piece of evidence was revealed, a video clip showing a private interaction between Michael and Nadia, seemingly confirming a betrayal that no one had fully anticipated. Gasps filled the courtroom, and Rada's reaction was instant and visceral. She covered her face, struggling to process the emotional impact, while murmurs of disbelief echoed through the room. The footage didn't just support the claims of betrayal, it intensified the drama to an almost unbearable degree. The betrayal was no longer abstract, it was visible, undeniable, and heartbreaking. Social media erupted almost immediately, with clips of Rada's reaction circulating widely. Fans and critics alike debated the implications, speculating on the intentions of each party involved. Some defended Michael, arguing that context was missing, while others expressed outrage at what appeared to be an intentional act of betrayal. Nadia Nakai, for her part, remained silent publicly, only fueling the fire of speculation. Every post, every comment, every discussion thread amplified the scandal, transforming a private heartbreak into a global spectacle. Yet, even as the evidence mounted, the story remained far from straightforward. Michael's explanations, combined with Nadia's ambiguous role, created a web of uncertainty. Was this a misunderstanding blown out of proportion? Or was it a carefully orchestrated betrayal designed to manipulate public perception? The conflicting narratives created suspense not just in the courtroom, but across social media platforms, talk shows, and gossip channels worldwide. The public was left to wonder who was telling the truth, and whether anyone could be trusted. As the story unfolded, the emotional stakes became increasingly high. Rada's vulnerability made her the center of public attention, but it also highlighted the personal cost of betrayal. Michael's narrative clashed with the evidence, creating tension and raising questions about morality, intent, and loyalty. Nadia Nakai's involvement remained ambiguous, a wild card that kept everyone guessing. Every moment, every revelation, every emotional breakdown added layers to a scandal that seemed impossible to fully untangle. By the end of this session, it was clear, the courtroom drama had reached new heights, but the ultimate resolution remained elusive. Betrayal, secrecy, and suspicion continued to dominate the narrative, leaving both the public and the participants in a state of heightened anticipation. One thing was certain, the story was far from over, and the next chapters promised even more shocking revelations that would keep the world on edge. As the courtroom reconvened, the tension was palpable, almost suffocating. Every eye was on Rada, whose composure was still fragile after the earlier revelations. The air buzzed with anticipation as Michael prepared to respond, his once calm demeanor now tinged with defensiveness and frustration. Nadia Nakai, though not present physically, loomed large in every conversation, every accusation, and every suspicious detail. It had become clear that her involvement, whether intentional or circumstantial, was central to the drama unraveling in front of everyone. The most explosive moment arrived when Rada's attorney presented a series of newly uncovered messages and photographs. The courtroom collectively gasped as each piece of evidence revealed a narrative far more shocking than anyone had imagined. The messages, seemingly casual at first glance, carried undertones of secrecy and manipulation. Photographs of private meetings, previously hidden from public view, painted a vivid picture of intimacy and betrayal. Rada's reactions were immediate and raw. Tears flowed freely, her voice trembled, and for a moment, the courtroom felt suspended in the weight of her heartbreak. The evidence didn't just tell a story, it confirmed suspicions, turning rumor into undeniable reality. Michael attempted to defend himself, insisting that the messages had been misinterpreted, that the meetings were innocent, and that the betrayal everyone assumed was exaggerated. Yet, with each explanation, the emotional tension in the room escalated. The courtroom spectators could feel the clash between truth and deception, between public perception and private reality. It was a battle of narratives where the stakes were intensely personal and emotionally charged. Even more shocking were the revelations surrounding Nadia Nakai. Reports from insiders suggested that she was not merely a bystander but had actively participated in manipulating certain situations to her advantage. The ambiguity of her intentions fueled speculation. Was she seeking personal gain, acting out of jealousy, or was she caught in a web spun by Michael? Each new revelation added layers of suspense, keeping everyone guessing and heightening the sense of scandal. The climax of the session came with a dramatic confrontation. Rada, finally regaining enough composure to speak directly to Michael, delivered a statement filled with raw emotion, anger, and disappointment. Her words pierced the room, forcing even Michael to pause, reflecting on the gravity of the betrayal. "How could you let this happen?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Was all of this real, or just a game to you?" The courtroom was silent except for the sound of her voice, resonating with heartbreak and incredulity. Michael's defense faltered under the weight of mounting evidence, and the audience could sense the unraveling of his carefully maintained composure. Meanwhile, speculation about Nadia Nakai continued to circulate like wildfire. Her silence in public, contrasted with the apparent messages and photographs, created a paradox of curiosity and suspicion. Everyone, fans, journalists, and insiders, was left to question her role in the betrayal, making the story even more sensational and unpredictable. By the end of this session, it was clear that the scandal had reached its peak for the day, but the fallout was far from over. Rada's emotional vulnerability, Michael's conflicting narratives, and Nadia's mysterious involvement created a perfect storm of suspense, heartbreak, and intrigue. Social media exploded with reactions, some expressing empathy for Rada, others defending Michael, and many speculating wildly about Nadia's motives. The story had transcended the courtroom, infiltrating every corner of celebrity gossip, news outlets, and fan discussions. Despite the intense confrontations and shocking revelations, the ultimate truth remained elusive. Was Michael truly at fault, or were there unseen forces manipulating events behind the scenes? Could Nadia Nakai have had a hidden agenda, or was she merely caught in circumstances beyond her control? The uncertainty left everyone, including Rada, grappling with questions that demanded answers. One thing was certain, the scandal was far from resolved, and the next chapters promised even more revelations, emotional turmoil, and jaw-dropping moments. Concluded, the audience was left hanging on the edge of their seats, craving the next update, the next piece of evidence, and the next emotional confrontation. In the world of celebrity drama, betrayal, secrecy, and suspense ruled supreme, and this story was far from its final act. The courtroom drama may have paused for now, but the story is far from over. Rada's emotional breakdown, Michael's conflicting narratives, and Nadia Nakai's mysterious involvement have left us all questioning who can be trusted and what the truth really is. And this is where you, the audience, come in. What do you think? Was Michael's betrayal intentional, or was there more behind the scenes that we still don't know? Could Nadia have played a bigger role than anyone expected, or is she simply caught in a complicated situation? Your opinions matter, and we want to hear every theory, every suspicion, and every hot take you have on this unfolding scandal. Comment below with your thoughts. Who do you believe is telling the truth, and who might be hiding secrets? Do you think Rada will find closure, or is this the beginning of an even bigger fallout? Every comment adds to the conversation, fueling the debate and keeping the gossip alive. The more you share, the more this story grows, and the more the world watches as the drama continues to unfold. And don't forget to like this video if you want more updates, more shocking revelations, and more behind-the-scenes insights into the world of celebrity scandals. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the chaos, the confrontations, and the jaw-dropping twists that are still to come. Every subscriber joins the community of gossip lovers, insiders, and fans who live for the thrill of scandal, betrayal, and emotional drama. Stay tuned, because the next chapter promises even more surprises, emotional confrontations, and shocking revelations. The truth is still out there, and it's far from clear, but together, we'll uncover it. So comment, like, and subscribe now, and be part of the conversation that everyone will be talking about tomorrow.